So this is kind of a sad story, but also kind of an uplifting one. I didn't want to end the episode on this, so we have something coming up after this. But GoGoFive, if you guys don't know, Kyuukyuu Sentai GoGoFive, it became Lightspeed Rescue in the U.S. It's a Super Sentai. In the U.S., it became Power Rangers Lightspeed Rescue. Kenji Shibata played GoGoYellow, which is the Yellow Ranger. And he is living with an incurable brain tumor. Now, you hear that and you think, oh my god, I was tearing up when I heard that because, well, I don't know this guy personally. Watching not just the show, but also watching other media Sentai media that he's come back to cameo in, you're kind of like, oh my god, you're just hearing that someone that, you've seen on screen. Some people grew up watching his character either in the U.S., Japan, Philippines, wherever it may be in the world, and you learn that he's just been living with this incurable brain tumor. So your first response is probably, I think, if it's like mine at all, it's, oh my god, he's going to die, right? I don't know if that was yours, Tristan. It sounded like
Yeah,
the way, the
I
first thought
mean,
is he's not going to live.
right, or not have very long when you hear the words brain tumor. Yeah,
Yes, especially the words incurable.
yeah, that too.
You're like, incurable, assuming that also could mean inoperable.
Yeah, yeah, I
But,
believe they stated he's gone under.
and,
Oh yeah, he's undergone. Sorry, he's undergone
mm,
multiple surgeries to try and remove the tumor, but I think the problem is it's too close to something vital that they weren't able to remove it. So, but it's enough
yeah,
that he can
yeah.
live with it. He still has
See,
difficulties, but he's still
yeah,
getting on with his life, which is a good thing.
and that's where, the story shifts, and we realize that this isn't new. And that's the thing that I think maybe for me seems a bit more uplifting, where it comes off as he has just learned. Before you actually read the article, that's why it's always important that you read the articles.
Right.
This article will be in the description box below, because when you just read the headline, you're thinking, oh my god, he just learned about this. A hero is going to, a hero of someone's, or, is going to pass away. But then all of a sudden, when you start actually reading it, you realize that yes, it is inoperable. Yes, it's near various parts of where the nervous systems meet. I don't know what that necessarily means, but frankly, even if it was put in better terms, I still would not know. I'm not a doctor. So the point is that he can't be operated on, but he's found this out so long ago. He actually found this out when they were filming this show.
Right.
Now, this show was filmed in 1999. So he's known this for, what now? Almost 20
So
years.
yeah,
And this is the sad part of the story. If the inoperable brain tumor isn't the sad part, Jesus, right? You would think that's the sad part. But the fact that he felt like he didn't want his fellow cast members to see him that way, he hasn't really seen them much, if at all, over the last 20 years. So that's sad, right? Of course, added on to it. But again, just this idea that he's been living with this still for the last 20 years. Yes, it's bad that he, and the reason why you might be like, well, why wouldn't he want them to see him like this? Because when you actually read on, he talks about the fact, or the article talks about the fact that he can still carry out a majority of his daily tasks, but speaks slowly and has a difficult time saying certain words. So apparently this was the first time, there's a picture, the first time that the entire cast reunited in 18 years. And interestingly enough, the reason why the article says that he thought of them as real siblings is because the show was actually about them playing siblings.
right.
So to him, they became so close, it felt like they were real brother and sister.
Yeah,
Which, of course, you don't want your family seeing you that way. So I know it sounds completely sad. That's why I kind of didn't want to end it on this. But I just think that the thing to take away from it is that, you hear the words inoperable brain tumor, you think, well, you honestly think that they already have a coffin.
right.
You know what I'm saying? You think that, I don't know about you, but I had an immense feeling of dread
Yeah,
when I heard those words put together.
right.
But when reading this, while it is sad that he hasn't seen them, he hasn't kept in touch, and also that it is inoperable. At the same time, it's been this way for 20 years, which means that he's lived for 20 years.
Right.
And I think that's impressive, and that's kind of what we should take away from this. I mean, it's a very sad story. It's sad because we're, as a collective, Tokusatsu fans, non-Tokusatsu fans, are learning about this at the same time. But at the same time, just knowing that this is, in a weird way, old news, if you will. Just because we learned it doesn't mean it hasn't been, happening in his life for almost 20 years now.
Right.
That, the fact that he's alive is amazing. Now, yes, he does have paralysis on the right side of his body due to the tumor's progression, so I will admit I don't, know how much longer he may have.
Yeah.
But the fact that that's a good 20 years means a lot. And also the fact that in this picture, we do see him standing.
Yeah, and the cast is able to get back together again.
Yeah, I mentioned that a little bit earlier. Yes, thankfully they did reunite, so that is sweet that they are able to see each other. Hopefully not for the last time, but that they were able to get back together. And yes, so I don't know what else to mention other than if you guys, have never seen GoGoFive, there are legal ways to watch it now. I'm not getting any kickbacks from that. This is not the story to get kickbacks from shit like that. I'm just saying if any of you guys don't have experience with it, you can watch it legally. For years people had to either trade VHS tapes or stuff like that, but now you can watch it legally. You can see him being GoGoYellow, or GoYellow rather. And he was actually a breakout star at the time, at least in terms of being GoYellow in Japan.
Right.
Apparently he actually did very well with, Housewives, which is kind of funny because while watching the show, I never thought, that guy would do well with the Housewives.
Right.
It was more so his character. It's not like he wasn't good looking or anything, but his character I didn't think would be a major hit. But apparently throughout the years, they've done different polls and stuff like that. And Housewives have come out and been like, yeah, no, GoYellow's where it's at. It's like, all right.
Right.
I don't know how the poll got you to say that. I don't know what box you checked on that poll that was like GoYellow, where it's at, not where it's at. But no, apparently he was very popular at the time, and so that's why it's kind of strange to some people how it seemed like he just straight up vanished. Like every TV show, I think when we were kids has that one person where you're like, oh yeah, maybe not great with the Housewives, but you still see that one character or that one actor that you're like, oh, they seem really good or they seem really cool, and then out of nowhere you're like, wait, where do they go?
Right.
Like you look at Wikipedia, you're like, they dropped off the face of the earth, and they may have only been like in their 20s, and you're like, what the fuck? So we learned. If anyone was wondering what happened to him, we now know. But again, I think that we shouldn't. I feel like you agree, Tristan. That's why you've been a little bit silent for this. I feel like, it's like I'm someone who tries to look at the positive side of things.
Yeah.
And I think that, the fact that he's been with us and that he's been around living his life for the last 20 years, I feel like that's how we have to look at this. Because any other way, you're going to break down. Yeah. With a story like this. Any other way, it's hard to, to hear something like this. So, that's my take on it. I assume you feel the same. And, maybe when you come over, I'll try to get us to watch some GoGoFive. Yeah. And you can see his work or any other cameos. I'm pretty sure he's done some cameos as a Sentai member in other Super Sentai later. I could swear that he did, although it may have just been stock footage. Maybe. But either, because, obviously this happened to him during the run of the show. But yeah, hopefully if they ever do a reunion for GoGoFive, some shows have done reunions, like 10 years later, 20 years later, something like that. I hope he can appear again, even if it's just a small cameo. Right. That would be nice. Yeah. But yeah. So, alright, that's it.